Chevy Silverado 2500 lower ball joint replacement. First thing you want to do is jack the car up, put it on stands, chalk the back, take your tire off. Next, pivot your brake or your steering to where your brake caliper is swing out this way, so you can take off your mounting bolts to the brake caliper bracket. Then from there, you're going to take off your 10 millimeter here, and then a 10 millimeter here that restrains the brake cable or the brake line. And you're going to take this off and hang it to the side. And I'll show you what that looks like after I get that off. I've already loosened and taken out the top mounting bracket bolt. On this application, it is a 21 millimeter, and the second one is right there. That'll allow you to take this whole caliper bracket and brake pad assembly off and out the way. Like I said before, you do have to take these 10 mils off, one here and one there. And I went ahead and took off the ABS harness as well to get out the way. All right, now that I got my brake caliper bracket assembly hanging to the side right here, I'm just using this cord I got from Harbor Freight. It's like a rubbery, I don't know, it's a good hanger. Either way, now the next step is going to take off this brake rotor, which just literally slides off. And then I'm going to move on to my tie rod, outer tie rod. All right, the tie rod end is out. Next will be the nut right here, that nut, and then the corresponding nut right here at the bottom. And then behind this cover is your axle nut. And then there's a total of 3, looks like 6 nuts back here, or bolts, that go along this CV axle on the backside. Get all that free, and you'll be able to take this whole knuckle off, which will allow you access to the lower ball joint. But let's get it. And this is a 36 millimeter axle nut socket. It goes on this right here. Actually it might be a 35, but 36 works. I use 36 on the other side. And you want to use an impact. If you don't have an impact, you want to take this cover off and use a breaker bar before you take the tire off the ground. So at this point, the axle nut is off here, and I already verified that this moves freely if I push this in. And next would be just reaching around here, and pulling this down. I need both hands to do this, but you essentially see it's off. It just came off. I just got to work it down into the ground down there. All right, at this point, I got the upper control arm out of this socket, this joint right here. Got this one hanging on the threads. I just gotta take this thread off and this whole knuckle fall off. Got the CV axle propped vertically. Alternative to this, if you want to get this all the way out the way, which you don't have to, is to take out this end link. That give you the room you need to pull this whole axle boot out and out of your way, but it's not necessary doing the lower ball joint. That's just an extra step that a lot of people do. I don't do that. Now, if it was necessary, yes, but in this case, no. Next is, after I take this knuckle off, is to hit this out with your lower ball joint. All right, I'm about to press these ball joints, this lower ball joint, into the hole I just made down there on the lower control arm. I'm gonna show you guys what a lot of people don't show, what setup they use. They kind of just put the press together and then you're like, okay, which ones they use. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for somebody doing this job. So you're gonna need a ball joint press kit for one. You can use the measurements on this cup, or you can just look at the cup I have and go by that. But you're gonna use this because this fits just like that. It rides on it just like that. You want the lip to ride just like that around the edge. And then up top, you're gonna have this ring, this cup, which is bigger than the hole right here, and that's what you want. You don't want something that's gonna be the same diameter as this. You want either slightly bigger or bigger. And then you're gonna use right on top of that, out of your ball joint press kit, the step side goes down, and this ring right here is where the inside of your, I'll show you, of this piece will sit. So as this turns down, going into this way, it'll be on this, and this side will be pulling upwards, pushing the ball joint in through the bottom and up. I'll put it all together. I know it might not make sense if you've never done it before. I'm gonna put it all together and show you what I'm talking about. All right, got the tool all set up. You're gonna take your 22 millimeter right up top on this nut. Get your impact ready. As you see, the ball joint is pressed in. It's bottomed out right here, all around the edges, and this is how it sits. It does not ride all the way to the top, but it does come up. And this is just a cap for your Zerk fitting. So I gotta thread in the Zerk fitting piece, put some grease in here, and that is a ball joint pressed in, what it looks like and what it takes.